Good morning, everyone. 6 a.m. Monday morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm Evan Nurani.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. Glad you're joining us here on CBS 8. Let's get you ready for what's going to be a nice week. Still summer, but the rest of the country is feeling more like summer than we are.
Rest of the country in what, the triple digits?
Yeah.
I mean, this is when you're like, okay, this is why I pay for
Exactly.
the expensive rent or the mortgage. We're spoiled. And that's not to say we're not warm. It's still really warm out depending on what you're doing outside. It's just supposed to be a lot hotter for this time of year. So consider ourselves spoiled. We officially hit the 6 o'clock hour. This is a live look from our Mount Woodson sky cam. We have that gorgeous inversion layer spilling well into the inland valleys this morning. Sun officially rises just after 6 o'clock starting today, setting tonight just before 8 p.m. Current look at some temperatures where you live will be in the high 60s, or we're in the high 60s rather, for downtown Chula Vista as well as National City. A little cooler for spots like Santee as well as Vista. Here are your high temperatures where you live will be in the mid to low 70s along the coastal areas. Those neighborhoods that hug the 15 will range in the high 70s, low 80s later on this afternoon. Close to 90 degrees for Ramona, near 110 later on for Borrego Springs. We'll talk more about what the rest of the work week has in store. That's all ahead of my full forecast. All right, and let's go ahead and take a quick look at your drives. This is the 805 in both directions right at Home Avenue. It's looking pretty nice, not too bad at all for Monday morning. So good news if you're headed outside anytime soon. As we take a look at speeds out of Chula Vista and National City area, anywhere between 65, 70 mile per hour. Same deal out of the La Mesa, Grossmont area, a little slower out of Santee on the 52 West as you make your way up the summit. And we're averaging about 65, 70 in from Escondido as well as Oceanside. Here's a quick look at travel times out of the North County. Netta.
Good. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And now this morning, a man is dead after an hours-long SWAT standoff in Santee. Sheriff's deputies say they first responded to calls of a man making threats with a gun just before noon yesterday on Willow Grove Avenue. After unsuccessful attempts to negotiate, the SWAT unit was then called in. A gunshot was later heard from inside the home the suspect was in.
Deputies deployed gas into the house. The suspect came out of the house. As he came out, he fired 2 rounds, or several rounds at the deputies, causing the deputies to fire back.
No one else was hurt in this incident, and per protocol, the San Diego Police Department is now investigating. Today, the San Diego City Council set to consider a plan that would charge visitors a flat fee for some parking lots in Balboa Park.
And this is something that has always been free. CBS 8's Regina Urita joins us live in Balboa Park, and she has details on how much people could end up paying per day just to park there in Balboa Park. Good morning, Regina.
Hey, good morning, guys. That's right. Well, the city is set to consider implementing parking meters here in Balboa Park. The no parking here in this area was really an added element to why this park is such a treasure. People come here, they park, they enjoy some of the museums, the zoo is nearby, or they can enjoy some long walks in this area. But that can soon change. And residents, they say, well, that's only going to deter visitors. Take a listen.
It's just unnecessary. We pay for everything coming and going, and this is such a great area to come to park, picnic, not worry about your time, not worry about having to go back and fill a meter and everything, and I just think it complicates things.
Now, under the proposed plan, Balboa Park lots would be divided into 3 pricing tiers based on proximity. While the price would range from $5 to $15 per day for the off-street lots, meters would be installed on streets, including Park Boulevard and 6th Avenue, with a rate of $2.50 per hour. City leaders say the paid parking plan is intended to help address its budget shortfall, and that revenue from the parking fees would help improvements to the park and the San Diego Zoo. So back out here, we do know that city council meeting is expected to be scheduled at 1 p.m. They'll have a discussion on whether to implement parking meters and if this plan will move forward. We'll have more details on that later today. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, a lot of people watching for that. Thank you, Regina. This morning, Senator Alex Padilla will introduce a bill that could make it easier for some undocumented immigrants to become permanent U.S. residents. The legislation would update the Immigration and Nationality Act. Under the proposal, undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. continuously for at least 7 years, have no criminal record, and meet all other requirements would be able to apply for a green card. Senator Padilla says that this could help 8 million people, including undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children, also known as dreamers. And this morning, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is taking steps to protect people during immigration operations and addressing concerns about local police getting involved in those raids. He signed an executive order aimed at increasing transparency. The San Diego Police Department will lead a coordinated response team to create a joint safety plan if federal agents disrupt a sensitive site or public facility. The order also reaffirms existing state law that blocks certain types of data from being shared with federal agencies, including information gathering through automated license plate readers. San Diego PD must report anytime officers respond to a scene involving a federal agency carrying out immigration enforcement. An immigration advocate says it's an important step forward.
My hope is that this move by Mayor Gloria's office does present some concrete steps that cities and jurisdictions can do to protect all of the residents.
And SDPD wants to affirm officers do not enforce immigration law and don't ask about immigration status. The department will work to implement the order's directives in the coming weeks. The order also includes educating the public with Know Your Rights information available in multiple languages on the city's website, at community centers, and at libraries.
This week, the White House will release nearly $6 billion in K-12 education funds that it froze earlier this month. The administration initially claimed the money might be supporting a radical left-wing agenda, but then offered no details. The money is for programs like teacher training, English learning, and support for migrant children.
Well, it's 6:07 right now. We are joined by Vanessa Paz. A look at what Mission Bay this morning.
So pretty.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah, and usually we see one or two people walking along the bay. It looks pretty quiet at last check. Again, this is a live look just across the bay towards, typically it's either facing south or north. Oh, looks like it's going a little more, or not. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears. This is La Jolla Skycam. This is our UCSD Skycam out in La Jolla, and we're seeing mostly cloudy conditions, a little overcast out there. We do have a little bit of a break showcasing some sunshine, but it looks like for the most part, we're looking at cloudy skies from the coast all the way towards the inland valleys. Taking a look at today's highs, we will top out in the mid to low 70s. We'll be still a little cooler than where we should be for this time of the year. Meanwhile, for those areas hugging the 15 corridor, we'll hit a high of 81 in Escondido. The mountain areas will produce highs in the low 80s later on today, and will be near 110 for Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells. So this area of high pressure is sort of working with this trough of low pressure off the eastern Pacific. It's keeping things mild, very subtle for us here in Southern California, specifically in San Diego County. And that will continue to do so for the next couple of days. This area of high pressure will move a little more westward all the way through the middle of the week, and that will usher in some slightly warmer temperatures. But other than that, daytime highs all the way now through the weekend are actually going to be sitting where we should be for this time of the year. By Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll feel a little warmer, especially for interior parts of the county, and by then we'll be anywhere between 2 to 3 degrees above average. So overall, here's what you need to know. Mild money on tap before that slight climb in daytime highs. This afternoon will be mostly clear, especially for the coast and inland valleys, especially by the time we hit the 1 p.m. hour. And looking ahead to the warm up, we're talking about 90s returning inland and near 80 degrees for the coastal areas once warmth peaks Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, the Mets are playing the Padres here at home. First pitch later on tonight. Right before the game starts, we'll be in the mid 70s in the downtown East Village area, and then we'll drop down to the high 60s once that game wraps up. All right, and as we take a look at your drives across town, this is a live look outside on the 5 in both directions right at Oceanside Boulevard. So far, so good coming in from the North County. This is what it looks like in from the South Bay, coming in from Chula Vista, as well as National City. You're looking at full freeway speeds for the most part. In from the 5 and the 805, we're averaging about 65, 75 miles per hour, so no major slowing, as well as out of Santee and La Mesa Grossmont. We're also looking all in the green. Green always good, especially if you got to get some more on time today. 65, 70 mile per hour speeds, meanwhile, in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Travel times right now about 10 to 30 minutes if you're traveling inbound from Carlsbad or Escondido via the 5 and the 15. If you're traveling for all of those westbound drives, 94, 8, as well as the 52, anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes. And here's a quick look at what I have on tap for the South Bay. About 10 to 15 minutes full span across the Coronado Bridge to the toll booth will take you just under 5 minutes. All right, and let's take a quick look at your border wait times. Just over 2 hours inbound from the San Ysidro port of entry and about an hour and a half or so in from Otay Mesa.